train to Amsterdam was packed, and I was glad that I had reserved the seats for Khaled and I. Across our table, our companions were a Muslim lady in her 50s, a dapper dressed gentleman, and a venerable old man. It had been 2.5 years since Khaled and I had met in the mud and horror of Dunkirk. So, as the train rolled out amongst darkening skies, we erupted into frantic tales of our lives since that time I last saw him. As our talk carried on, he told me his tale. An Assyrian Christian from a town outside Mosul, his family did hail, and the darkening clouds of ISIS rolled into his land, and in the chaos that ensued, he was split from his family. A week of searching, and finally he finds that his family never made it away in time. And while our conversation rolled into the night, I realized that our companions across from us were staring at us with an intensity. The Muslim lady was dabbing her eyes with a lacy handkerchief. In our conversation, something had alighted her brief. And looking at Khaled, she did say, "I am sorry, young man, I could not but help hear your story, and you see, I too was once a refugee. Legalize my name, from Bosnia I came. I will not go into the facts, but my stories are the same. Different fascists rolled into my town, a quiet backwater that nobody would know if not for the horror show that the Serbs inflicted upon us not so long ago. So, my child, I fully understand. This I will say, that the pain will never fully go away. But try to live for them as much as you can." With that from her purpose, she gave Khaled some tea. In an air thick with contemplation, the dapper old gentleman closed the book that he had been pretending to read. He looked intensely into Khaled's eyes and gently rested his veined hand on his. I, as well, a long time ago, went through the same. My name is Simon, and from a long Jewish line. We hailed from Antwerp, and a life that was fine until the Nazi war machine rolled into town. It happened so quickly, no chance to run away. So a neighbour's cellar we hid, and for that luxury we had to pay 3 months of our money was spent, and our neighbours, for a reward, they did tell. The local police goons who were the servants of the dog of hell. 3 days later, we were in a cattle truck heading east. One night in a siding, my father prized open a slate. Me, being the youngest, was pushed out into the world. "Run, my little boy, go into hiding." It was the last thing I heard. The last thing I saw of my family was the hands through the slates waving at me. Such a long time ago now, but just like yesterday, and like Layla did say, the hurt never really goes away. But we are alive, and through us, our families live. They will always be there for us, with wise advice to give. With you still alive, so they will live. Simon gently took away his hand, picked up his book, and pretended to read again. 4 people in silence. Train rolling on, like the passages of time in the gathering night. The atheist, the Christian, the Muslim, and the Israelite. last of the dying sun flickered through the trees, and that night the train to its